I've seen people make videos asking, are white female friendships actually like the dynamics portrayed in White Lotus? And the short answer is yes. And I'm going to tell you why I think that is. If you look at white American culture, especially like rooted in religion, like Christianity, evangelical, etc., the number one thing that white women are supposed to be in their dynamics in the home, in the family, is subservient, is agreeable. You must keep the peace. That is your role in the family. I think in a lot of other cultures, there's a little bit more of a matriarch. The mom or the woman in the family is a little bit more outspoken, a little bit stronger, and she's very much more the leader. But in these white families, yes, the woman is still the one doing everything, but she is supposed to be the one secondary to the man, to the husband. At least that's the way it's been for the last about 100 years for white women in America. So having that as the core identity that women are taught, that white women are taught to be, then you see them in a dynamic with other white women. They're trying to operate in these friendships when they are not used to having to express themselves, having to express their feelings. So then what we get is a lot of talking behind the back, because that's the only opportunity that that woman really gets to say how she's feeling, because she can't be confrontational. That would not be keeping the peace, which is what she has been taught is the number one value she is supposed to have. That's why we see Lori being a little bit more rebellious and a little bit more of this modern woman, because she is not afraid to kind of stir the pot and say what's actually happening, call people out on what's happening. And I think that is why a lot of white women were really moved by her speech, is because she was expressing that even though the relationships may seem shallow to other people, these are still the deepest relationships they have in their life, because they are able to be themselves and to be messy, when in other dynamics that is not taught to them that that's okay. And I think it's these types of shallow kind of relationships, shallow emotional relationships, that lead them to prioritizing the men in their life, like we saw with Chelsea and Rick. They want to channel so much emotion and so much expression into those romantic relationships, because there's maybe a little bit more room to be a little messier, you know? And that messiness at the end of the day is genuine expression that these women aren't taught that they're able to do, you know?